The following program is made possible by Planet Earth Diversified, Melee Productions, and Leslie P. Jenkins Photography and Graphic Design, with additional support from Flavor Magazine, serving the Piedmont's local food and wine culture. So here we are at Magnolias Restaurant for the 11th annual Farmers Luncheon, the first annual Farmers and Vintners Luncheon here in Purcellville, Virginia. Nancy Muncie and I will talk to a number of growers here at this luncheon to find out what the local product is available here. Custom cheeses, special wines, hydroponic growing, fresh field growing, even some experiments in goji berries.
Our first interviewee this morning is Luke Wiseman of Stony Brook Organic Farm in Hillsboro. And Luke's got quite an operation up there. Tell us a little bit about it.
We grow all types of vegetables, and we believe in preserving the historical heritage of Virginia and preserving the farmland for future generations.
It's a community effort.
Yes, it definitely is. I mean, it's a lot of work, but it's really nice to know where your food's coming from, and it's enjoyable to be living a sustainable life, and especially in this age where there's more and more of a disconnect between food that comes from California and people that are I heard Michael Pollan saying recently that something like 2,800 acres an hour is taken up in good farmland in the U.S. by development. And so we really want to reverse that trend by farming the land and growing things on it. I just want to encourage people to support their local farmers and the local CSAs, community-supported agriculture, and farm markets. And by local support, it can make local farming viable and something that thrives and something that doesn't go away to the highest bidder, which previously has been developers.
What we do is the whole local part for us is so important in that the customers are now expecting it. I think there's a value added in the sense it's growing here in our own backyard, and most of the time it's so much better than what you can get from the big house purveyors, and also it's fresh. Yeah. Generally, it's always fresh and beautiful and lovely.
Quality is always much better.
Much better. Yeah. It's the independents that are so important, Magnolias, Tuskies, that we can operate at a high level but be independent and make our own decisions and involve the community. And Tuskies is very much a part of the community, as is Magnolias. And I feel that buying local is just a part of that equation.
So you've got Mark here at Magnolias, and you're trying to bring him into that same sort of interaction with.
Right. He's so close he can taste it.
Yeah.
And we've been here 5 years, and they're the pioneers, but we're trying to catch up to them.
And it really is. It's just a matter of getting a system going, and then once it's in place, it just happens. And then a lot of it is also training the farmers for them to call and say, "I got this," or you make a deal with a farmer, and I say, the farmer, you know that the farmer is going to deliver on next day, and they'll always deliver on that day, and so that they'll call on Mondays, and then he'll have it on Thursday. Right. And I want that deal, so I know I can count on it for through the weekend. And consistency in that sense is very important for myself, and in planning and other things where. Like for the menu, let's say for Valentine's Day, I planned that back in December. I said I was going to use X veal from X farm, this chicken from this farm, and so and so is going to provide the lettuce. I call them way ahead in advance and plan it out, and that helps them a lot too.
That's really important.
It takes a little more effort in planning and a little more effort on.
And if it's tomatoes, it's 3 or 4 months.
Right. Sure,
so
absolutely.
if you want a black Prince tomato or you want this heirloom, we have to know now.
So we have a farmer's hot page. This is a great opportunity for farmers to tell us what they have, and they have a lot of, and I have a direct link to that to my email at patrick@tuskies.com, and Mark here will probably get one on his. And what we want is for Mark for farmers to tell us, hey, in 2 weeks we're going to have X, Y, Z really bumping hard. I'm going to have blueberries coming out of my ears. I'm going to have strawberries, asparagus. I'm going to have chickens. I'm going to have really cool black-footed chickens. So something really nutty that you just weren't expecting. And we'll go from there. So that's the way to do it.
I'm here to interview Walter Gatlinger.
I'm the basil meister. The basil, because basil is my favorite herb. And basil is so easy to grow if the temperature is right, of course, you know. And everybody loves my basil. And I grow the sweet Genovese Italian basil. That's called the king of the basil. And I grow it as long as, until I'm 100 years old, as long as Chef Patrick loves my basil. It's just been a pleasure to be here, and I'm looking forward to a very good, happy season to deliver to the Chef Patrick and keep on doing it as long as I can.
You have to get into biodynamics, which is an amazing thing that Europe got into after World War II because they didn't have the money to buy the chemical fertilizers that we have in this country. So they reverted to biodynamics, which is an ancient, has its roots way, way back in man's history, and has been developing over the years very quietly on the periphery of lots of places, Austria, Europe, Germany, now Australia. Biodynamics are having an amazing impact in Australia because the land is so poor, and they're able to upgrade that land to be where they need 3,000 acres to grow 100 head of sheep, or 200 or 300 head of sheep. You can upgrade the land to the point where you can easily run those sheep on 200 acres. I don't get paid very much, hardly at all, but I eat really well, and the quality of my life is really up there. And I would not trade this for $1 million a year for anything. I feel like I'm giving back somehow to the earth and to the people that live here besides myself.
About 20 years ago, I started growing tomatoes. And I was one of the first local vendors to convince the restaurant that they should buy from me instead of buy from their restaurant supplier because it was fresh. And I had no problem selling it because the quality was good.
So how did you get started growing tomatoes?
I got hungry.
Tell us about what you're doing with this grant on the goji berries.
The purpose of it is to propagate the plants because there's no source of going to a catalog and buying them. There's no source of seed. And the berries come out of China. According to the Chinese, it needs a high pH, which would be 7+. But I can grow tomatoes on my property, which is the same plant family, under 7. They like 6 or as low as 5.5.
Wow.
So and then they're growing well in the greenhouse. Yeah. And I didn't add anything extra to the ground. I mean, it's completely new.
Yeah, I'd love to get a plant from you.
You can't go to a university and get any information on it.
Yeah.
They're telling me to do the research and then tell them about it.
Right. Well, at least you got Andy on your side. He's a good guy to really. Yeah. Well, good luck to you, and I can't wait to come out and see your stuff, and let's get a plant, and we'll try it in our greenhouse too.
Okay. I think you'd have good luck doing it. Because they grew fine from seed. Yeah. All over the place.
All right.
We have 2 basic missions. One, obviously, we want to farm sustainably, because we believe in being good stewards of the land, and we're certified organic by Oregon Tilth, and we believe in third-party certification because we do sell, beyond just one-on-one kind of sales. As part of sustainable practices and good animal husbandry, we believe in humane practices, and that too we seek a third-party certification so that we can really, represent ourselves very well. The fact that we really care about humane animal handling. And our secondary mission is, as conservation measures, we like to manage rare breeds and keep the genetic bloodlines in existence. Since we do produce so much meat now, and we've got a sort of controlled business happening, we are looking to be distributors for people downstairs for other local products. And we have nice outlets in DC that they don't all have the opportunity to sell to, and so we're going to start moving product around, more product around in more places.
Now, where do you take the animals for slaughter and butchery?
Right now we're going to Gores in Edinburgh. We're also utilizing Blue Ridge Meats and hopefully with Fauquier's Finest, help them along and get some more business out their way. But the majority of our business right now is at Gores in Edinburgh.
We do our own poultry.
Everything, all the poultry is done on the farm. We do have a USDA inspected cutting facility and hanging room, along with our poultry facilities and an inspected kitchen. So all of the only thing that is done off farm is the actual slaughtering. Carcasses come back to our farm. We do all the dry aging at the farm, any of the cutting, everything is handled right.
So you deliver right from the farm then?
And then, yes.
The wine industry in Loudoun County has many years seen increases of double digits. There's been a terrific movement for buying local, and we have a great agritourism product. Originally, when Whitey built the property, he really wanted people to come for all sorts of reasons. He planted you pick blackberries, and you pick asparagus, and you pick apples. People are picnicking with us. We do summer concert series, we do festivals. We have almost a mile of Potomac Riverfront property, and so it is just a gorgeous place to escape the city and really enjoy the lifestyle that wine brings to the county. Jordan Harris, our winemaker, he is a Canadian, and he brings with him so much knowledge and passion for local sustainability, and he was on a committee that provided sustainability programs and quality programs to the region in Canada where he is from, and he just brings to this area such knowledge and expertise, and we're really proud to have Jordan as a part of our team.
We've seen a tremendous growth, as you can tell, I think, from the luncheon we had in the number of wineries, and the buy local mentality is a phenomenon that is growing, I think, and we're very proud to be a part of that. We have a loyal clientele of customers. We're trying to expand, but do it slowly also. We don't want to overextend our reach. But it's just been a lot of fun to see the growth in agriculture, and especially the wine industry in Virginia in particular, but Loudoun County too. We're actually, I think, the first in the state as far as number of wineries. We're up to 24 now, so I think we're #1. So it's been fun to see that growth over the years, and fun to be part of it.
Well, Ellen, we started working together at VABF back in the 80s, right?
Yeah, let's see.
Sometime in the 80s, because we came up with the 1990.
I moved back to Virginia in 1990.
Yeah.
And that's when we started running the organic program for the state of Virginia
certification. There's a long history here, and we're back here in Purcellville, and
yeah.
So you really are kind of bringing the farm to the city.
Right, we're bringing the farm to the city. We do it every week. We also do a huge CSA program. We're up to about 650 families.
Now, do they come to the market to get their CSA?
No, they come. We have drop-offs in different neighborhoods, so they end up coming to somebody's house, where there's maybe 20 different families are coming to meet on someone's porch to get the food. I deliver to a health food store where customers come and pick up. I deliver to a wine store. I deliver to the National Wildlife Federation, national headquarters building. So we use these neighborhood drop-offs to serve these families. And those people are sort of our gold star customers, the ones who've paid up front to get the best of what there is every week from the farm.
Wow. So now you're growing year-round? You have season extension? Or?
No, I am not into season extension.
So you got January off?
Absolutely. I love the article someone wrote for Growing for Market that says, who cares about season extension? I love season contraction. I like seasons with nice hard ends with that rest period in between. And so I've been super resistant to doing anything past Thanksgiving, and I don't have anything to sell or eat until April 15th. Wow. And that is what works for me.
You actually get a vacation.
Yeah, I get time off, and it's time to do research and development, it's time to knit, it's time to heal my body, it's time to hang out with my kid, but I still want to hold that sacred rest period for myself in the deep, dark months.
That's great. So tell me about your farming and what you do and what you provide to these guys here.
Well, I'm Elaine Boland, Fields of Athenry Farm, and we started out with just lamb and poultry. And Patrick approached us, and we've been selling to Tuscaroras ever since for the last 5-6 years.
Wow.
And real excited about it. But in the course of all of that, this whole other world found me, and kind of through health issues, we came to know a lot of doctors and nutritionists. I got challenged by some of those doctors and nutritionists. I was making prepared meals. That challenge caused me to look at my neighbors who were farmers and see if we couldn't develop a partnership or a program with them. That's kind of pulled me into this whole other world. It's been a lot of fun. I've gotten really close with my neighbors and my butcher and my processing people, because this whole little world of health issues has grown because people are finding out when they eat locally raised meats, they're feeling better. It might be years before they take a Tums again because they're not having the same kind of indigestion problems. And
that's really interesting.
It's really fascinating, and I have people coming to me now for the soups and the stocks that we make. It's been a lot of fun. The whole world has opened up to me. Probably the neatest thing that we've implemented this year at the farm is called our Farm Outreach Program. And the third Saturday of every month, we have different doctors and nutritionists giving free talks for the people to find out what they can do to help eat locally, eat better, and get better health.
Somebody's come forward and said, Virginia's got something really good here to offer the world, so we're going forward with exporting to the UK. We're going to be at the London International Wine Fair in May. So a lot of great things are happening for Virginia. So we have our winemakers, also our wine grower. We've got 105 acres he watches over, and we produce 10,000 cases of wine every year. He's been doing the wine growing thing a long time. He's been at it about longer than anybody in our region. So he's really confident he can spot a disease onset
that's great.
Before we
that's
get
what you
into too
need.
much
Somebody
trouble.
really in tune with the plants. Now you're providing both to Magnolias and Tuskys?
Yeah, these guys, what they're doing is really as far as all agriculture, they're trying to involve everybody as much as possible, which I think is great.
So how did you get into the goat cheese business?
Well, I started by making cheese at home and was not having much success because you have to have a really sterile environment to keep the bad molds out and the good molds in, and was not having much success. And I actually ate at a local restaurant here that was serving Cherry Glen goat cheese, and found out that we had a goat farm, which I never thought we would have a goat farm local in the DC metro area. Found the goat farm and went out to meet the owners of the farm and started working there as a cheesemaker.
Wow.
I've been there for a couple years now. So
Goodness.
it's a lot of fun.
Well, that's terrific. So what's your favorite thing about making goat cheese and working with local chefs?
Oh, well, working with the local chefs is amazing because I'm at the farm and I'm in my little room working. So when I get out and I talk to the chefs and they say, oh, this is the best cheese I've had, or this is the best, you can just taste how fresh it is. It really makes me feel good about the product I'm making.
Right.
Yeah, it just is, same thing at farmers markets, same sort of thing when you're actually interacting with the people who are trying it for the first time and, wow, this is what fresh goat cheese tastes like. It's totally different.
So it's a
than what you
really
would buy
special
in the store.
relationship with the consumer of your product.
Oh, definitely.
So your art and the feedback from the people that are enjoying it.
Right.
Well, that's terrific.
We focus on dry reds. We're what we call a Chateau Le Garage winery, which means that it's a small operation. We started it in the cellar of the house. We're up to 3,000 cases of production now, which is pretty big relative for the size that we are.
That's a lot of hand corking.
Well, we bring in the bottling line to do it right.
Okay.
It's a mobile bottling line that we use, and that is key. We want to make sure we got the quality. So there's things that, some wineries will have these nice big tasting rooms and, extravagant setups, and those are great, and people love to go there and visit. Ours is a little more hometown, a little funky, kind of like your hat, is that it's got some style, it's got a little wear, but God, it says a lot.
Can't get rid of it.
No, you can't. So we're set up pretty well. We educate people about what the wines are that we're doing. We started this year doing some U-Pick for the customers because they like coming out and come out and pick some berries, and it's good. They love the experience. Well, one of the things that I've really focused on here, when I first got to Virginia 12 years ago, my boss at the time was Whitey Hubert out at Tarara. And he really wanted me to be involved with the other wineries and to build this community. And I didn't think about it much at the time. I had the experience from California and obviously had been in the industry. But this being new here, it gave me the opportunity, it put me in a situation where I was kind of a big fish in a small pond. I didn't want my ego to get in the way for that, but really it was that cooperative effort that I really felt strongly about putting forth. And it's the kind of thing where as you put that out there, everybody else follows suit, and we've really built this community. So the wineries feed off each other, we encourage each other, we work hard to make great products, and that has evolved also into the whole rural economy, so that we are setting ourselves up into a long-term sustainable economic area that will have great farms, great foods, great land use, land preservation, that really is just going to hold the anchor here. We've had such development here in Loudoun County. We used to be known just for houses. Now that the market's softened up, you know, it's given the rural side a chance to catch our breath and say, we're here. And the county's appreciated that and recognizes that, you know, our grapes and our cows don't need schools and they don't need roads. But, you know, we're just doing a great job at building a good environment here for generations to come. We put in a geothermal system of heating and cooling and hot water in the winery long before it was cool to do. We built a cave on the property, so we're using the natural balance of the earth and temperature climate control for the aging of our wines. We use composts in the vineyard. We do with a lot of cultivation rather than herbicides. We really do try to use a lot of our green practices. We also have gotten into, we do bottle reuse. So with our Raspberry Merlot, we're giving people back $1 if they bring the bottle back, and we'll go through the process of washing and reusing that rather than, you know, breaking it down and using the energy to turn it into a new bottle. So simple things like that. Our business has been based on what we call the 3 E's. The economics of doing it and trying to survive and sustain, the educational practices so that we can educate others on what it is we're doing and learn along the way. And the third is the environment. We want to create and help maintain the environment in a way where we can do this for generations to come. They really dovetail together, and I love focusing on those things.
We're at Magnolias Mill, which is awesome, and this is the Farmer Vintner's Luncheon, and it's the concept of bringing the farmers, the vintners, and the restaurants together so they can start sourcing from each other from a proactive point of view. From let's plan our menus together, let's plan our growing season together, let's start right now, and let's have this long-term relationship, this collaborative relationship together. I think it's beautiful. It's the second year, and this year is obviously a bigger success than last year.
Well, now, Patrick started this with Tuskie's like 5 years ago, and now he's trying to get Mark doing it at Magnolias also?
Yes. Well, their first luncheon, I believe, was last year.
Okay.
The concept of partnering with the farmers they've been doing, but the idea of bringing them all together pre-season for, you know, sort of a sit-down, a brainstorming. You know, what are you doing? What are we doing? Get everyone thinking again before the season as they're planting. Start really thinking about it proactively. But really planting for a specific purpose, other than I'm going to plant this because this is what I grow, and I'm going to try to then sell it. It's like I'm planting this, and I already have a buyer who's sourcing it local in my market, who's making food. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's great.
And it's really nice to see all the growers together interacting in sort of a collaborative versus a competitive way.
There was a really great show, a swatch of folks from vintners from all, you know, sort of the whole region of Loudoun County, and then different producers. You know, we had the one farmer who produces mint. Like, I just produced the best mint I can make, and it's in your cocktails, it's in your mojito and your mint julep, and it's on all your garnishments, and that's what I make. And the sense of pride she showed when she was talking about her mint was like, I make the best mint I can make. And that's all I do. And I just do it really well. And here's a group of restaurants that appreciates it and utilizes it, and I get to grow beautiful mint, and you get to taste it.
So are this now the beginning, the second year of Flavor Magazine?
This is. We are actually printing tomorrow our 4th issue. We are now bi-monthly, so we're printing every 2 months to go along with the seasons. And we have this great issue coming out tomorrow where we have done a feature, Flavor Cafe on Tuscarora Mill, because they're doing so many dynamic things, and Mom's Apple Pies, which is another local producer here that turned their berry farm into a pie business.
Right, we talked to them at Copper
They're
Fox.
very, very cool. So we're really getting the artisans, the entrepreneurs, the farmers, the growers, the vintners in this area really well. So our 4th issue prints tomorrow.
So here we are in the middle of endless winter. Tell us about endless summer.
Well, thank you. That is one of the beautiful things about our enterprise is that we are able to grow year-round. I grow hydroponically in a controlled environment, and also in the exurbs of Washington where land value is so expensive, we're able to grow the equivalent of 12 acres in 12,000 square feet.
Wow.
So hydroponics is very productive and perfect for high-value specialty crops. We also, one of the great things about us is this year we were able to use used vegetable oil that we pick up at restaurants. When we deliver, say, to Tuscarora Mills or to Magnolia Mills or Equinox down in Washington, when we deliver their weekly order of lettuce, we pick up their used vegetable oil. So Chef Rob Wellen at Post, has 8 carboys for us a week that we bring back and fuel our greenhouse, which heats the greenhouse, which grows the lettuce that they buy the next week. And so we get free fuel, and the restaurants really get to help sustain us in very real ways, because outside of payroll, fuel would be our #1 expense. So it's all good.
I just sincerely appreciate the opportunity to be here with the Tuskegee family of restaurants there. They're very supportive of local agriculture. And that's what keeps small farmers in business, being able to, direct market to the, the consuming public, where it be at restaurants, farmers markets. So I really feel that we have a future of sustainable agriculture. I will just one point. I am on the Board of Supervisors in Shenandoah County, and I have a passion for agriculture. And we are really working on trying to promote agriculture, the future for the next generations, to have the opportunity that we here have. But anyway, I thank the Tuskegee family.
We're kind of focused on alternative varieties, and we hope to pick those varieties that seem to grow across the north of Spain and into the southern part of France and do very well in Virginia. And we have a nascent, is that the word, nascent? What's new? We have a new cheese company, the Loxley Estate Farmstead Cheese Company, where we're raising heirloom cows, the American Milking Devon, which was the first American cow come over from Devonshire, England in 1623. And we're raising some Ayrshires as well. And trying to turn our 2 farms, Loxley Estate and Cayley Farm, into shining examples of successful rural enterprise. Coming to this event here and meeting some of the other farmers and realizing how we are really, again, restoring agriculture in a county that had been incredibly steeped in agricultural history. And it's kind of new agriculture, it's value-added agriculture. There really isn't a whole lot of commodity type agriculture that could be viable anymore here, but the idea of turning grapes into wine as a value-added product and milk into high-quality cheeses, and I have an interest in making some brick oven type bread, retained heat oven breads, and really kind of getting back to some of the fundamental, very high-quality foodstuffs that we used to enjoy.
Thank you for joining us, and we're so glad to have you here at Magnolias today.
All right, well, thank you, Michael. Thanks for your interest in talking to us farmers.
Yes, you bet. So there you have it, another Meet the Farmer TV, bringing food from farm to the plate here in Loudoun County, Virginia. For additional information and extended versions of this program, visit our website, www.meetthefarmer.com. The preceding program was made possible by Planet Earth Diversified, Melee Productions, and Leslie P. Jenkins Photography and Graphic Design, with additional support from Flavor Magazine, serving the Piedmont's local food and wine culture.